Hi, folks. Welcome to week 4. Here we go, almost halfway there. It's great to have read some of your submissions for week 3 already. It's Saturday afternoon, actually, and I wanted to get this out so I can continue grading. But I've got about 6 in so far, and I don't have to tell you how much hard work that was. Data, getting the data, retrieving it, and talking about an analysis, and hopefully you had, before you started week 3, a little idea of what your problem was going to be, of course. So they were just amazing to read. They're so varied, and that's where I get inspired, I think, reading something about a strategic plan or about a problem or issue in the school, and what you're doing on top of all the COVID related things that you're doing as well, trying to float through everything. And I can say that working at the university, I probably told you that I'm a COVID contact tracer. So yeah, the students are back on campus and we are being so diligent, but it just brings back that awareness now, just what's out there and what you have to navigate, aside from, being the educator and the parent and et cetera. So thank you for putting your all into your submissions. I will be, just letting you know, I will be looking through them today and tomorrow and maybe Monday. I will get them back to you as soon as possible. I just need to share with you that I'm teaching 4 courses. That's my load. But 2 of the courses are online. And in the 2 courses, I have 45 students. So between the 25, 6, 7 here and the 19 in the other course, I bounce back and forth, so I can have a clear mind when I grade. And so anyways, thank you for giving me that little bit of flexibility if I don't get them into use on Sunday, as I usually try to do. All right, well, thank you again, and thank you for all that you do. I want to share, before I talk about this 4th week submissions, well, they're on tidy, which is great, work, I wanted to share a little bit with you. And I'm going to screen share. Okay. In the papers so far, what I have seen, there has been a part that's been somewhat missing, and that's the data. Within the rubric, if you please look at the rubric, you're going to see, and also what it says about the submission in the module for this week, last week, week 3, that you need to have data. That's a really, really important part, because it's going to be in part setting the tone for you for what you do to solve your problem. Okay, so I get permission from one of the students, and example, let's say, that this is what the data could look like. You do have an exemplar. That's one way of presenting the data. And here is another way of presenting the data. And obviously this is literacy scores. I'm not getting into it because of confidentiality, but this is a great example. This is only part of what was submitted, though, in that particular paper that I'm sharing, okay? So if I do a notation to you in the rubric, that's what I'm talking about when you need more data and you need to even put data in, okay? Another point is UNE does ask students, somewhere along the line, it's in writing, but ask students to submit things in Word. If you submit it to me in PDF, I cannot make comments to you about your submission because it's PDF. So I make overall comments and feedback to the learner. When you submit your paper in Word, many of you know already that what I do is I go into Word, I insert comments throughout the document, and then I save it and I send it back to you in feedback for learner. Okay, so be looking in there for your return submission from me. But if it's PDF, you're just going to find the overall comments, because I can't tag them to something specific because of the PDF. Okay, so that's a number 2 I want to share with you. And finally, 3, there it is. This is your rubric for week 3 for the strategic plan, intro, problem, data analysis. And this here is in the rubric. I use a rubric all the time, except for a discussion board. Discussion board, if you've got everything in the discussion board that you're posting that you're supposed to, I just give you points and I make a comment. If you don't have APA, or if you don't have a citation in the response, then I use the rubric, and that's where I put the specific points in. Okay, so this is part of a rubric for a week 3 submission. And this one here is evidence. So one of the criteria is evidence. And this is what, it's a sample. If you don't have the evidence, I would do this. This is the expectation though, and you would get exceed standard. Meets expectations, evidence is specific, detailed, and quantified. Provides some indication of the size and scope of the problem. So I'm saying this because of that data piece again, because if you get your paper back, or if you haven't submitted it yet, because it's Saturday and I'm going to post this right off, please look at your data, because to meet an expectation, you would have provides evidence of the problem, test scores, teacher grades, attendance, discipline, you know, all kinds of different data. So those are important pieces, because as I've shared with some of you that I've emailed you for particular reasons in both courses, that I want my students to get full points. And so this is why I'm being specific about this. And some people might say, well, I can read this, but I want to be specific so you can get your full points. Okay, so onward, week 4, and here we go. So what's week 4? Lots of reading. You have chapters 3, 4, 5, and 6 to read, and lots of reading, and your discussion board is specifically about the reading. So again, discussion board is due by Wednesday. If you don't have it done by Wednesday, just send me an email and let me know you're not going to. Because right now I have a student who I just noticed gave me the first initial response, and I go, okay, should I take points off? I don't really want to, you know, so it's just a little bit easier for me. So I can say, okay, you know, think of something going on, and they'll send it to me by the end of the week or something. That's called flexibility, knowing that you guys are working so hard. So you have discussion board about the readings, and you have videos too. So you have 2 videos. Well, Sengay, again, he's quite the guy. So the first one is about parts of a family and the complexity of interactions. And then the other video, and they're both brief, is it's about his life, which is kind of interesting, and interdependence of life, and how's that fit into a systems approach. So I didn't want to be long, but I think I've been too long. So please take care of yourselves. 207-284-3680. If you feel as though you want to chat with me, text me, call me. Take care of yourself, be well, and thank you so much for your dedicated and hard work. I deeply appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Be well.